Mounce, BBG, Chapter 17, Sentence 4 starts with Ho Pater. Hopefully, by now Pater is father. Following that definite article tells you it's probably the subject, and it is here. So the father, what does the father do? He loves. Now that kind of ending, you got a iota subscript, and that might really throw you for a loop because you're thinking dative, but that's for nouns. And in this case, you're going, wait a minute. In this case, agapao. So again, if you're wondering, you go, wait a minute, look, there's a circumflex. As soon as you see the circumflex, you got to go, okay, what kind of verb is this? And then you hear yourself say the verb agapao. You know it's a contract verb, so that's why that circumflex makes sense. Then you look at the iota and say, okay, oase, I'm going to use oase. A would be that final iota, so it's third singular. That also lines up with ho pater, so the father loves is like he loves, is kind of in terms of the third singular. So the father loves, and the father loves tan huion. You see the nu, that ought to have you thinking accusative singular, which it is. The son, right, from huios, that's easy enough. So the father loves the son, that's easy enough. And then you go kai, and then you get to panta, and hopefully by now you recognize panta and you say, wait a minute, as soon as I see things like panta and tau ta, you got that final alpha. That final alpha ought to stick in your brain as a neuter plural, just as hard and fast. Most of the time you see that, on an adjective or a noun, and you go, man, neuter plural, boom. So once you figure it's neuter plural, then you got to say, well, neuter plural what? Is it either nominative or accusative? Well, then you just try to line it up with a verb. And you see that the verb that he's given you is he has given. Therefore, a plural is not going to line up with a singular verb, you see? Because this is a singular verb, so you got all things, and then you have a singular verb. That's not going to line up. So in this case, it's the he is going to be built into the verb, and then you're going to say he has given, and he's giving you the meaning of the verb here. So he has given all things, which means that in this particular case, that's going to be accusative because that's the only way it can line up in the sentence. Process of elimination again. So he's given all things, and then you got this prepositional phrase here, but then followed by te keriautu, his, and hopefully you recognize this as, was it hand, finger, arm, into his arm, into his finger, into his hand. And I think, most of us would go, wait a minute, that's the way we would say it in English is hand. So whatever they meant by it, we know it can mean any of those things. We're going to run with hand. You can say he's given everything, all things, or everything in his hand, but really the idea here is into. Okay, so into his hand. The Father loves the Son, and he has given all things into his hand.